I don't really want to put the title of the chapter because we're so far away from it, from the title. We have a lot of preliminaries before I even explain what that means. So I'm not going to put the title. So I'm going to say just chapter 1. And I'm going to ask you a few questions here. If I have the square root of x, what operator, by operator I mean what am I asked to do to x? Operator is, what is it? What am I asked to do to x? What is the operator?
Square it?
Yes, no, not square. Is taking square roots. Square root. Good. What if I ask you x to the third? What is the operator now? By operator means, I mean, what am I doing to x? I'm taking the square root. What am I doing to x?
Cubed.
Yes.
Multiplying.
Yes. Cubed. 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 I'm cubing x. Perfect. What about here? What is the operator now? What am I doing to x? If x is 5, what am I going to do to 5?
Negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2 will be the square root, 1 over the square root of x.
I'm sorry, oh.
Right?
Never mind.
Yeah. So what am I doing to x here? What is the operator? Yes, divide by x. And I can continue forever. But I want to I want to introduce a new operator that we haven't seen before, unless you took this class before. And the operator is lim. Like the other ones, it does something to a function. This is a function, it's function x, it does this. This is the function x, it does this. This is function x, it does this. What does this do? This operator is determining the tendency. Where is this going? Where is a function going when something, and I will complete it. As x approaches a value a from a function f of x. Here I chose a simple example. My function was x. So this is something way more sophisticated, I would say, than this. I'm going to write it for you. So first of all, how do we read this? The limit of f of x as x approaches a. This is how I write to the edge, and I don't want you to. So I'm going to copy this. As x approaches a from either side. And you can say, all this is in here. I mean, all this wording is in there. Yes, everything is in there. These were much easier. I could say immediately, take the square root of x, done. Raise x to the third power, done. Divide by x, done. But here, it's a mouthful. And I'm looking for the tendency, for the trend. So this is the trend of the function. Where is it going? What is the trend? Going up, going down, approaching this, approaching that. One more time. The limit of f of x as x approaches a. When we say x approaches a, we really mean it. I will also put in parentheses, x does not equal a. When we say approaches, we mean approaches. It does not equal a. Why is this important? Because calculus is based on it. And you'll see why. So I already printed out one example. So I'll show you which one I printed out. I can print out another We can do that next time. So let's see, what page is this? 113. Next time we can look at another one. So I printed out this one for you to answer these questions. So let's see what this means, because I need it as large as possible. And I'm going to make this page 9 when I post it, of course. Okay. So I'm looking at this function. Is it a function? Yes. By the vertical line test, this is a function. Now, what do I notice here? Well, I see that the function goes up, comes to a maximum, comes down. It has a jump. It goes up to this point and then down. It has an open point and then continues down. This is what I see. And I have a few questions to answer. Here's the first question. Find the limit of this function as x approaches -3 from either side. Okay. I locate -3 right here. I say x approaches -3 from this side. And at the same time, x approaches 3 from this side, -3 from this side. And I want to determine what is the function doing. As x approaches -3 from either side, follow my markers. The function is doing this. What is the tendency? What is the trend? Where is it going? As x approaches -3 from either side, the function gets closer and closer, closer and closer to this. What value is it? Anyone?
5.
Exactly 5. Excellent. Okay. X approaches -2. Okay. Moving on. As x approaches -2 from this side, and at the same time as x approaches -2 from this side, see carefully what happens. This side gets closer and closer, closer and closer here. And this side gets closer and closer, closer and closer here. What will you say? You can't say anything. Because from this side it approaches 4, and from this side it approaches 2. For that reason, we are going to write D, N, E, meaning it does not exist. So when x approaches -2 from either side, I do not have a limit for this function. I cannot establish the tendency of f of x. Because I cannot establish it, I will write D and E. Limit of f of x as x approaches 4. X approaches 4 from either side. So here's what happens now. From this side, it approaches this number. From this side, it approaches this number. What will you say? What is the limit? Anyone?
E and E, so it's open.
Very good point. So the limit is trend. It does not say anything about the function value. Trend does not equal function value. So that's another operator. So f of x means function value. Function value has nothing to do with the limit, with the tendency or the trend. We don't care whether the function is defined there or not. Very good point. So As x approaches 4 from either side, the left and right approach what? Not equal to, we don't care about that. They approach what?
2.
Exactly 2. I know I have to stop. I'm just going to do 31 and I'll stop, promise. So as x approaches negative 2 from the right. So we also have something called, so if I put here plus, is from the right. If I put here minus, is from the left. I'm going to erase both because this is not what I wrote here. But the plus, power plus, means from the right with numbers larger than it, than that a. And from the left with numbers smaller than it. One last one and I'll stop. So negative 2 from the right. As x approaches negative 2 only from the right, the function values get closer and closer, closer and closer to which value? Anyone?
Is it 2?
Exactly 2. So we will leave these for next time. Sorry I couldn't finish.